The Coast Guard calls it one of the largest drug seizures on record. Sailors and Coast Guardsmen aboard the frigate USS MCINERNEY come home with more than 7 tons of cocaine, which they took from 3 drug boats out in the Pacific Ocean. They call it a big victory in the mission to keep drugs off the streets of the United States. Channel 4 military reporter Heather Murphy has more on the bust.
It was an action-packed 3-month deployment, complete with high-speed chases and even suspected smugglers who set their own boats on fire. This is what they came home with, 7 tons of cocaine.
Usually it's at nighttime that we do these boardings, these takedowns as we like to call them.
In one bust, they chased a speedboat for nearly 2.5 hours before the suspected smugglers gave up. The team says that's usually the way it goes.
Their engines either break down or they give up.
There's got to be some adrenaline pumping then.
Yeah, it's fun. We're having a good time.
The Miami-based Coast Guard law enforcement team was working with the Mayport-based USS MCINERNEY, a guided missile frigate, and an anti-surface helicopter detachment also from Mayport.
We basically go on station and try to locate and intercept drug smugglers.
And 3 times in 3 months, they did just that. It all went down in international waters, west of the borders of Panama and Colombia.
It's considered what we call Go Fast Alley.
Go Fast, of course, referring to the speedboats the smugglers use.
Big money, drug kings.
Officials say the suspects they see are usually Colombian. How often do these transactions end up happening in Spanish?
Actually, 99% of the time they're in Spanish. Absolutely. I always task them in Spanish. As we come alongside, I start speaking to them in Spanish because I've been doing this a while and I know that they're not going to answer in English.
Gives you that feeling of satisfaction, even though we weren't over there in the Gulf and participating in Operation Iraqi Freedom. We were at least still protecting the home front from narco-terrorism.
Officials say they have all of the contraband of the suspected smugglers and even 2 of the 3 speedboats they intercepted in custody. They're turning everything over to the U.S. Attorney's Office in Tampa for prosecution. From the Coast Guard base in Mayport, I'm Heather Murphy, Channel 4 Eyewitness News.